Theo, pretty comfortable week for England. I don't get too excited about the qualifiers, I'm being honest. I mean, Gareth tried to say, it's going to be difficult to break Albania down, but I didn't have no doubt there would be 4 or 5, I should imagine, with the team we've got and the players we've got. And it was really good to see young players getting an opportunity. I think Gareth has really, Emil Smith-Rowe's had a fantastic season for Arsenal so far. Conor Gallagher, who's been brilliant for Crystal Palace, all getting their opportunity. And Saka, I love Saka. I think he's a great guy, and he got on the score sheet again. Played over 100 games at a young age of 20. I think he's 20 only. So it's really good to see the young players getting an opportunity.
Yeah, well, that's the thing of Arsenal. You've always got the opportunity. Me being there, I had that opportunity to play when I was young, of course. I think it's really important for them as well. They've got a lot of young, experienced players around them as well, which is always going to help them sort of around the place day to day, sort of working as well. But you got to give credit to absolutely each individual, because Smith-Rowe obviously went on loan. I think he had a bit of a tough time on loan, a couple of injuries as well, but to come back and he just showed. I'm a big fan of his. I've said this in the past. I really do like, what he does on the football field. And I'm really delighted he obviously got his debut and scoring a goal. And of course, it doesn't matter who it's against, but as soon as you look down, you see that England shirt on. That's what it's about. It doesn't matter who the opposition is against. So I'm really pleased for him.
Theo, as an Englishman, I'm very excited about going to the World Cup. I think it's going to be an amazing tournament in Qatar. We know what happened in the Euros. We was very, very close to trying to win the Euros since 1966, which would have been fantastic for the country. But Gareth Southgate's got a massive dilemma, hasn't he? I mean, look at the quality of players we've got in all positions, and to get that down to 23 is going to be a very difficult decision for Gareth, who he leaves out.
To be honest, he won't be he can't win, really. The amount of players you have, you can pluck from anywhere. It's silly, really. But it's really important for these players to obviously play at a level, leading up to the tournament and showing what they can do. And it's down to each individual player there. And yeah, Gareth's got one of the hardest jobs, in the country with picking that squad, because no matter what he says that squad's going to be, people are going to say that's not the right squad to pick. It's simple as it comes with the job. So, he's been doing all the right things. I think we need to obviously trust what he's doing, because the fact that he's got to a final and we just missed out, of course, really disappointingly, which is sad. But let's just trust him. Let's get behind the country, which we have been doing, to be honest. I can't fault that. And it's going to be really exciting. But obviously we've got to face the heat as well, which is going to be a different sort of factor that we're used to. But that's going to be the same for a lot of nations there. So it's going to be a tournament that I'm really looking forward to watching. My kids as well, which are starting to get into football a lot more now. So I'm pleased they can actually be part of that as well.
Oh, brilliant. Good timing too to actually get involved. Let's talk about Dean Smith, because Dean lost his job, and that was just after Southampton actually beat Aston Villa. It goes in at Norwich, and now he's got to play Southampton again. So what did you think when you heard that news?
Oh, it's strange, isn't it? I think that's the first time it's ever happened. It's going to be interesting, because we obviously haven't got any footage of him with Norwich, so we got to just probably watch a lot of footage with Villa, the way he plays. It might be very similar. But again, I just think we've got to look at our strengths and see how it goes. But I just find it mad in management, where you can be one place and then suddenly you're somewhere else. Yeah. I just, it blows my mind really sometimes. But again, it's an opportunity for him to try and, to prove people what he can do. And, I think obviously if he keeps Norwich up, which will be an unbelievable achievement, of course, but it's really early in the season. Obviously, a lot of people always talk about who's going down, but it's 11 games in. We still got quite a lot of games to play, a lot of football to play. And, Christmas period always seems to be the period when you got an idea where, people are going to finish off. So we've got a busy period coming up in December now.
Theo, you're in good form at the moment. I mean, the last 4 games, 3 wins and a draw, which is the camp must be very lively, very confident going into this game, because certainly your form was turning around now. 13, we know how competitive the league is anyway, but suddenly you got the wins under the belt and in great form at the moment.
Yeah, do you know what? We always knew that was going to come from our performances. From the start of the season, the run of fixtures that we had. It was very difficult, but considering I felt that we did really well in the games, and we picked up, points which we wouldn't have expected as well. And the quality we have in our squad, we got a really big squad to what we had last year, because we had quite a lot of injuries, and obviously with COVID, which was quite a sort of staggered season, so the games were sort of piled on each other. And now the manager's got loads of players to pick from, which is really good. It's really competitive in that dressing room. And of course, it's always important to get that first win. And once you get that 1, 2, 3, the confidence just flows through the team. It's simple as that. You would know that. So, we're really strong at the moment. I feel we play really good stuff. We're really competitive, and that's what we want to be. We want to be competitive, and we want to be really consistent now. And I feel like we're starting to sort of, hit the right note right now. Yeah.
On that subject of managers moving around, Steven Gerrard now at Villa, Lampard's linked to Rangers as well. You know both of them well. You've played alongside them. What kind of an aura did Steven Gerrard and Lampard give out that makes you think what we've seen so far with Gerrard at Rangers? He's obviously a brilliant leader, but what is it you think makes him a good manager?
Oh, do you know what? That's mad. I didn't realise that. Obviously, Frank's going for the Rangers thing. It always seems to be these two always
just linked.
Oh, okay. Well, these two always seem to be sort of linked. They can or cannot play together. Now they've obviously Frank linked to Rangers, where Stevie's obviously been. So they're always going to be around. It's going to be that sort of competitive edge, I feel like, between them two. Because I felt like in training that was always the case. They're always competitive. They always wanted to win in the sort of in the five-a-sides, and they were unbelievable players to play with. They really were. And I can tell with the small start that Frank's had in management, which has been, sort of obviously up and down, but I feel like he's got signs of, being a really good manager. And Steven, of course, for me, has just shown what he can do. And I feel like the good thing about him, he's taken loads of bits out of other managers, other players he's played with, and he knows players very well. He's been at the top of the game for so long. And not just that, he knows how to deal with people off the field, which I think is really important because, I think it's really easy day to day just to deal with the football side of things, but I feel like you need to get to know the person, the people around the club. And I feel like Steven will have that time. Frank as well would have that time, just to not even talk about football with people, because sometimes that's, like this last week, I've actually forgot about football, to be fair, because it's nice to have a bit of time with the kids. And it's always nice to have that happy balance because, my life's always evolved around it, and it's really important, of course, but sometimes you've got to just step back and think, right, let's just have a break from it and we'll get back to it. But so I feel like with Steven, he can do that part. I'm really intrigued to see how he gets on the Premier League, because obviously it's very different to the Scottish League, but again, he's gone out there, he's won the league, and now Villa's going to be a different test because he's up against some unbelievable managers now in the Premier League. So that's gonna, we'll see how he gets on.
Theo, on this day, we do this on this Ray, but we ain't doing that today. So I thought I'd bring you back to 2012, which I was certainly enjoying this afternoon, with Arsenal beating Spurs 5-2, and you scored on that day. I'm sure you remember it very, very well. And one player who played really well last night for Wales, Aaron Ramsey. Obviously, you as his teammate, and there's been lots of reports that he might return to the Premier League. I think everybody would love to see Aaron back in the Premier League. I don't think he's going to be at Arsenal, but I'm sure wherever he went, he would do a very, very good job for any team.
Yeah, I'll find out. I'll give him a call and I'll pester him.
Maybe at Southampton, who knows?
No, do you know what? It would be lovely. It would be fantastic for him to come back to the Premier League. I feel like he would want to, definitely. And some part of me in my head's thinking he would love to come back to Arsenal. I just do something about that sort of tick a box. But obviously, it's one of those things. He's at Juventus. He played very well for Wales last night, so that's really good to see. He's obviously, a lot of people have been on his back, I think, in Italy, which is, I haven't seen enough of it, so I can't really comment on that. But for me, he's a leader. He's a workhorse. He just, he's still playing for his country. He's got so many caps. It'd be great for him to come back in the Premier League. We want all these players to be in the Premier League. The likes of obviously Ronaldo's back in here as well. So. But leading back to that Tottenham, I scored a couple in that game, I remember. And it was actually a story at half time. And when first half, I was being a little bit on the greedy side, should we just say, and I wasn't passing the ball to my teammate Robin, who obviously is a goal scorer. And he said at half time, I'm not going to pass you the ball anymore, Theo, with a few lyrics involved in that, which I can't really say on the radio. And next thing you know, I'm end up setting him goals galore in the whole season. I scored a couple in that half as well. So that was a great night, and I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic fixture again the weekend.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.